Unions blast Sibanye Gold as rescue efforts to save 3 trapped miners continue. The ANC is still deciding on what action to take against Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo. This is eNews at 8 p.m. live from Johannesburg. I'm Tony Ndoro. Now, time is ticking for 3 miners trapped underground since yesterday afternoon on the West Rand. A rescue operation is underway to reach the men kilometers beneath the earth. Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe is set to visit the mine as well. Erin Bates has more.
Miners here at Driefontein and Carletonville put life and limb on the line to extract minerals. This wall commemorates those who've died on the job since 1998. In 1999, 31 miners died on the job here. The mine was controlled by Gold Fields at the time. In 2013, Sibanye Stillwater took over, and since then there have been an average of 2 fatalities per year until now. This year alone, 7 miners have died here, with 4 dead in the last 24 hours. They were among 13 miners trapped underground after a seismic event measuring 2.2 on the Richter scale. 6 of the 13 are stable in hospital. Their injuries have been severe, including blunt trauma and multiple fractures. 3 of those miners are still trapped underground, and rescue operations are ongoing. Erin Bates, Carletonville.
At the same time, COSATU has issued a statement saying it is alarmed at Sibanye Stillwater's deteriorating safety record. The Federation isn't the only one to criticize the company. AMCU President Joseph Matunjwa has shamed Sibanye Gold for not prioritizing the lives of miners.
We need to employ more inspectorate that are skilled in this field of seismic events. I think that is where the gap is. And furthermore, also, we need to look how can we address the issue of educating and educating the workers in general about their rights to withdraw in the area which they perceive as dangerous. But coming to this seismic event of yesterday of 2.5 Richter scale, we believe as AMCO that the management had pushed the boundaries too far in terms of production and profit, because the first seismic event, which was 2.5, was really huge, was big, of which they were supposed to withdraw all the workers and direct them to the waiting place and maybe give it in 1 hour and 2 hours, of which this is what I've asked the management, why didn't they do it? So they were talking about the distance was 2.1 kilometers away from each other. But to my surprise, after I engaged with them, as we're still sitting, the 3.5 Richter scale seismic event happened. And then they rushed to tell the proto team to withdraw from the rescue area. So you could see clearly that the mine workers' lives is very cheap.
The ANC is seemingly now taking action against the man at the center of the violent Northwest protests. We've been told that the ANC's National Working Committee decided on Wednesday to tell Supra Mahlangu to resign or face being recalled. Now, many residents have been calling for the Northwest Premier to go. Mahumapelo's failure to heed the call could also see the NWC recommendation being taken to an emergency meeting of the party's NEC for endorsement. Xolim Gambi spoke to the party's Veterans League President Snuki Zikalala earlier.
What should happen is that it was a recommendation of the NWC that Comrade Supra must step down, and so that we bring stability to Northwest. And if he steps down, of course, the NWC cannot take decisions on behalf of the NEC. The NEC was supposed to have met about a week ago to look at the provincial conferences, whether should they go ahead or not, the regional conferences, should they go ahead or not, and the BGM, should they go ahead or not, because it's important that those matters should be addressed. There was going to be an emergency meeting, a special meeting of the NEC, which of course it will take place. We are not sure whether it will take place on Monday or not, but if it takes place, it also addresses the issue of Northwest, because the NWC is not a constitutional structure. The constitutional structure is the NEC. The NWC is supposed to process matters that are put on table and present to the NEC. The NEC is the highest decision-making body of the ANC. And so now, If Comrade Supra has been recalled, it'll be recalled, but the final arbiter is the NEC, which is supposed to meet and endorse it, if they so wish. But I don't see the NEC reneging on that, because the current NEC wants to build the credibility of the ANC, want the ANC to come back to its original values. And so I don't think the NEC will say no to that.
Protests over the Northwest Premier have spread to Potchefstroom Hospital. Nursing staff say health services in the province have deteriorated under Supra Mahumapelo's administration. Workers demonstrated outside the hospital today, leaving patients without care. ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte says she respects the views of the Veteran League, but she maintains that Zikalala's comments are not accurate. Duarte says the decision on Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo can't be rushed.
I think you're trying to push us into giving you a decision that we must make, which is a very responsible decision. And we're dealing with the lives of millions of people. We're not dealing with just an issue. This is not an issue. We're very responsible in this regard. The matter will be pronounced to you and all other South Africans on Monday. And we are humbly requesting you, especially ETV, assist us in this matter. It is not just about meetings, it is also about constructive consultation on the decision that we want to make, which is a correct decision. And it means talking to people, it does mean consulting people, it doesn't just mean listening to one side of a viewpoint. It also means talking to another side of a viewpoint, putting to them where we would like to go, and making sure that once our decision is made, we have united people behind that decision, not continue with a trajectory of dividing the people of the Northwest Province, which we are not prepared to do.
In other news, suspended SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane is facing disciplinary charges. Now, they're in connection with his alleged misconduct and leadership failures at the tax authority. The presidency says a retired Constitutional Court judge has been appointed to preside over Moyane's disciplinary inquiry. This will be followed by another commission of inquiry which will focus on tax administrative issues, including shortfalls in revenue over the past 2 financial years. Calm seems to have been restored in Mitchell's Plain for now. The Cape Town suburb has been the scene of tumultuous protests this week. Our reporter Leanne Jansen recaps the week of protests.
It started as a protest by residents of the Siqalo informal settlement for better service delivery.
We decided we must protest ngenxa yento basifumana service delivery njengoba nditshilo and andifihle kudala madoda noko it is umbane ke noba sithi masakhelwe senziwe ntoni at least sifakelwe nje okombane sukule 2012 ngoApril abanye ngoMarch okokoko mntana ukuthi kuyayiwa kunansi kucouncil angafuni ucouncil nyani siyacela abantu abakuthi okombane.
But with the blocking of major routes to and from neighbouring Mitchell's Plain, it soon escalated into an us and them situation.
We stayed for years there. You know, okay, I grew up, I didn't cry. It's not, I didn't go stay and burn people's houses off.
It's alleged that Siqalo residents burnt down a nearby ATM as well as a fruit and vegetable stall that services Mitchell's Plain. Premier Helen Zille says provincial government's hands are tied for now, and that this is all part of a well-orchestrated plan by a crooked businessman.
This land here is privately owned land, and it was owned by a person, it is owned by a person who conducted a lot of illegal sand mining here. Now, this land, according to the city, can't be built on because of what the situation is as a result of illegal sand mining and the topography and the water table. So when people invade a piece of land, and it's allegedly with the help of the landowner, he tried to get the city to buy his land for 30 million rand.
The past 2 days have seen Mitchell's Plain residents rise up and clash with police. In some cases, it's alleged that live ammunition has been used. Dozens of public violence arrests have since been made, sparking further outcries.
We want our people released. They took these people from behind and they threw them into a van. It's not fair. The city is failing us.
Various government, community and civil society role players have since met to try quell the violence. Leanne Jansen, Cape Town.
Coming up after the break, King Goodwill Zwelithini receives an honorary doctorate for uplifting the lives of those he leads. Stay with us for that story and more. Welcome back. Now, the Guptas have lost yet another court challenge. This time, the South Gauteng High Court has ordered that business rescue practitioners be given immediate access to the Oak Bay service. Nicholas Bauer was at the court today when the Guptas were dealt this blow.
Another legal loss for the Gupta business empire as the South Gauteng High Court handed down a damning judgment, with presiding Judge David Unterhalter ordering not only immediate and unmitigated access to the Oak Bay Resources premises and server by business rescue practitioners, but also for Gupta company associates to provide affidavits detailing why they prevented access in violation of a court order or face jail time. This is the 7th time that Gupta-linked companies that have been placed under business rescue, such as Tegeta Resources, Oak Bay Resources, Shiva Uranium, Confident Concepts and Island Site Investments, have challenged the legality of business rescue practitioners' access to their premises. So it may well not be over, as these Gupta-linked companies have a habit of appealing judgments regardless of their prospect of success. So, will IT experts aligned to business rescue practitioners get what they want off those servers before they're somehow barred again? Nicholas Bauer, South Gauteng High Court, Johannesburg.
Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini has been praised for his humanitarian and developmental work. Deputy President David Mabuza was speaking at the University of Zululand in northern KwaZulu-Natal, where the king was awarded an honorary doctorate in social work. At the same time, critics have questioned the timing of the honor. Supra Mahlangu was there and filed this report.
Hailed as an outstanding leader working for the people, Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabheka Zulu's Bayede Foundation Trust also earns a nod for its work to create employment opportunities.
We are united in saluting the university for its decision to recognize the outstanding humanitarian and developmental work that is at the center of the work and leadership of His Majesty.
In his speech, the king lashed out at the government for failing the people on land reform and redistribution. He vowed never to release the land held by his Ingonyama Trust to government ownership.
Kuthiwa mina engaphathiswa ngoyihlo endulo lengubo engumhlaba kaZulu angiyinike inzwela boya nezehluleki.
Critics wondered if the university's decision to honor the king was linked to the news that it's trying to secure title deeds to the land it's built upon, rights administered by the king's powerful Ingonyama Trust. Supra Mahlangu, Durban.
Right, here's a quick look at news from further afield, and we start in Sweden, where a sex scandal has forced the cancellation of this year's Nobel Literature Prize. The husband of one of the members has been accused of sexual misconduct. Several board members of the academy that awards the prize resigned in the wake of the scandal. The names of other prize winners were also leaked. To China now, where a 3-story building collapse has killed 1 person and trapped 3 others. The building was under construction. 14 people have been rescued so far, and rescue operations to free 3 others trapped are ongoing. Okay, here's a recap of your main stories this evening. Unions blast Sibanye Gold as rescue efforts to save 3 trapped miners continue. The ANC is still deciding on what action to take against Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo.
Hello everyone. If you're looking for good weather this weekend, you're in luck, as we are expecting Saturday and Sunday to both be sunny and dry, although we are expecting some cloud at first in the northeastern parts, mostly over the Lowveld and the escarpments, along with some morning fog, but by afternoon it will be partly cloudy in the area. A little bit of cloud also starts to reach the Atlantic coastline of the country during the second half of the day. Before the rest of the country, it's going to be a sunny, dry and very pleasant afternoon with warm to hot weather for many places. And we can see this in the Northern Cape as both Uppington and Prieska reach a maximum temperature of 31 degrees. It's going to be a clear day all across the province. And while many areas in the Western Cape will be warming up, it's going to be a somewhat cooler afternoon for the Atlantic coastline of the country, and along with that some cloud cover could reach the area later on. Sunshine dominates the Eastern Cape, pushing temperatures up into the low 30s for some places, but it's going to be another cold morning for the interior of the province, Aliwal North, with an overnight low of only 0 degrees Celsius. Clear, dry and warm weather for KwaZulu-Natal, although there could be a few passing clouds for Richards Bay. And after a relatively cloudy morning over eastern Mpumalanga, by afternoon it will be partly cloudy and dry, and sunny weather is expected all across the Highveld. Cloudy at first as well for many parts of Limpopo, along with some fog along the escarpment, but as we've already seen, things will be clearing up as you head into lunchtime. Sunny weather expected for the northwest, and after a particularly cold morning in the province, temperatures bounce back very quickly into the afternoon. Similar weather expected for the Free State. A 0 degree start to the day once again for Bethlehem, 3 degrees Celsius for Bloemfontein. We are expecting light frost in places, and in Gauteng it could be frosty in the far southern parts at first. Johannesburg, cold to start off your day with an overnight low of 6 degrees, but warming very nicely into the afternoon as well. Heading into Sunday, clear, dry and warm weather expected for just about all of the country. There won't be any rain in the forecast, but as we head into Monday, the next front reaches the west coast, bringing some rain to parts of the Cape provinces.
Now, Mother Nature has been wreaking havoc in some parts of the world while uncovering buried secrets in others. Seismic events have triggered volcanic activity on several islands, and we start in Hawaii, where a volcano eruption on the Big Island is forcing residents from their homes. A series of earthquakes over the past few days triggered the eruption. Nearly 2,000 people have been evacuated after lava spewed from a crack in the ground. And in France's Reunion Island region, a volcano is doing little to prevent campers from enjoying the spectacle. The volcano's been erupting for several days now, with lava spouting over 30 meters high. Scientists are taking samples of the magma, which reaches up to 1,000 degrees Celsius. This is the second eruption this year. And finally, it may not be a volcano, but a giant sinkhole in New Zealand has revealed 60,000-year-old volcanic deposits. Heavy rainfall in the Bay of Plenty opened up the ground along a fault line. Scientists are excited about the find, but also its massive 200-meter length. Here's a recap of your main stories this evening. Sibanye Gold say they have located 2 of the 3 trapped miners as rescue attempts continue at the Sibanye Stillwater site. The ANC is deciding on what action to take against Northwest Premier Supra Mahumapelo. That's a wrap from the team and myself tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow evening. Good night.